Hey, today we're going to be starting with Unit 6, which deals with kinetics and equilibrium. Kinetics is just a fancy way of saying movement, and equilibrium is just a fancy way of saying balance. So we're going to see how a system responds when certain stressors are added, whether it is heat or how a reaction will progress. Before you do, I would like you to get out your reference tables. You're not necessarily going to need them for today's lesson, but you should have them anyway, because what if you need to refresh your memory and look something up? Okay, first vocabulary word, the only vocabulary word for today is collision theory. Collision theory simply means that a particle or particles must collide with the proper force and orientation in order for a reaction to occur. Again, collision theory, particles must collide with the proper force and orientation in order for a reaction to occur. What does that mean? It means that for some particles, they got to combine or collide like this. Just simply colliding like that might not make them react the same way. So collision theory, they got to react properly or collide properly. Now, there's three ways that we can increase the rate of a reaction. And we've actually done a lab that relates to this, and we talked a little bit about this, but there's three things that we can do to a reaction. Is we can adjust temperature, we can adjust surface area, and we can adjust concentration. Okay. Temperature is a less fancy way of saying average kinetic energy. Remember, kinetic means moving. So something with a higher temperature, the particles are moving faster. If you have a bunch of particles moving faster, the chances are much more likely that they're going to have a collision. If they have a collision, they're going to have a reaction. Surface area. We talked about this when we looked at the powdered sugar versus the granular sugar. But if you looked at a sugar cube and you looked at a pound or a mound of powdered sugar, the sugar cube is going to react less rapidly because it has less surface area. If I crush something up or make it powdered, which is the same thing, this is going to react faster because there is more surface area. And finally, increasing the concentration is going to increase the likelihood of a reaction. Let me show you why. Beaker A, beaker B, and I have element 1, and I have element 2. So if I look in tube A, or beaker A, I have a lot more of these green dots. If I look in beaker B, I have a lot less of the green dots and a lot less of the red dots. So I'm going to add about an equal amount of red dots. I think you're getting the point. The more particles you put inside a container, the more likelihood they're going to have a reaction or they're going to have a collision. Think about it like this. When you watch the lottery, when they're drawing the numbers for the lottery and all the balls are rolling around, kind of like when you play bingo, same thing. The balls fall up and the particles are moving around like that inside of a container. The more particles you put in there, the more likely there is to be a reaction. That was pretty simple. To summarize, temperature, surface area, concentration. When you increase them all, you will increase the rate of a reaction. There's your review. There's your practice.